Welcome to No Shame in the Home Game, the podcast that cares how your home feels, not looks. I am Lacey, your here, but not here, but here co-host, which hopefully will make more sense in a moment, with Sara, who is here, our co-host. Hi, Sara.
Hi, Lacey. It is so wonderful to see you. We spend a lot of time together, and then when we have gaps where we're not around one another, it's noticeable. So to be back together, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels good.
It is noticeable, and I'm like, why am I so sad? And then every once in a while I'll be like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to Sara in a couple of days. That's probably why. And we haven't been talking because, unless you don't know, I am unexpectedly pregnant, and it has turned my world upside down in the greatest way possible. It's a whole thing. You can listen to a Sharing the Middle episode where I talk about it, an IUD failure, and you can imagine chronically ill Lacey's not so great. Pregnant chronically ill Lacey is a wild ride, but we're getting there. We're making it happen. We're very excited because it feels like the universe is giving me a pass on not feeling guilty for having the third kid that Joe and I both wanted. But it does mean I gotta make some assessments in life and figure things out. So this is a little bit of an update episode to let you all know where we're at, what's happening, and what you can expect.
I've said it multiple times on this podcast, and I say it all the time in my day-to-day life, is one of the biggest things I've learned through motherhood is pivoting.
Yeah.
And to me, this is another, okay, yep, we got to pivot on some things here. And that's what we do. You just say, okay, that's not going to work anymore. What are we going to do instead? And so I see the accommodations we're making as just, we've been practicing pivoting for plenty of years now, and we're going to roll with it. And I know our audience is going to roll with it too, because sometimes it's fun to try new things on. And so this is all just, we're adapting. And we're also playing.
We are. That's what, as you were talking, I was like, we're also using it as an opportunity to play around and try some new things out, which I love.
And okay, I can't hold it anymore. Okay, so we're going to try telling our audience, we're going to try Q&A format, which I am actually super excited about. A couple of reasons. And don't get me wrong, I loved our journeys with our participants. Absolutely loved it. But due to our new situation with Lacey's pregnancy, we need to be more flexible. So following a contestant for 3 months is a little bit more challenging. But I love the format of a Q&A because, one, ever since I was a little girl, we used to get the newspaper every day. And I'm not joking you, I would always read like the Dear so-and-so. Why can't I think of the names?
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby. I was like, I kept thinking Ann Landers. I'm like, that's not right. Dear Abby. When I was little, I used to read them all the time. And I just was fascinated by them. And one of my favorite podcasts right now is called We're Here to Help. And people call in with, honestly, bizarre situations. Our Q&As, we're still no shame in the home game. Our questions are still going to be bound by the parameters of home management. But I like this. And I like that it's going to give people an opportunity to ask questions anonymously, because we get it. It's personal. Sometimes you just really don't want to admit a frustration that you're having. And so I think we'll get to cover a lot of different topics that might resonate with a lot of different people. So honestly, I'm excited to pivot.
We aren't totally giving up on participants, though. We have one participant that we had already been working with. So we're going to keep that flowing along. And we're going to add in guest experts. I'm going to keep it a little bit more secretive because we haven't totally figured out the logistics for that one yet. So we are going to have a story to tell as well. One that I'm really excited about because it's a little different than what we've done thus far. And we also are going to check in with all of our previous participants. We're going to see what life is like post No Shame in the Home Game. How are their systems working? What have they learned? What have they changed? Because, as we've said, pivoting is a big part of it. And what worked then may not work now, and I want to know all about it.
I'll give you a little teaser preview. Participant Teresa, we're friends in real life, and she's doing great. She gives me updates, and she's so excited, and she'll be like, look what I did. She loves sharing the progress because it's bringing her so much joy and ease in her life. So I am really excited for her to come on and share all the goodness, but I'm excited to catch up with everyone. The last time we talked, participant Alex was pregnant
Yeah.
and was about to have her baby. So I'm curious how that all unfolded. We're just a reality podcast
Yeah.
over here, right?
Yeah. And I mean, there can be more Joe because, whew, are we pivoting?
I didn't want to put the spotlight on you, but I thought, wow, however much you want to share about this that we could do and share with the audience, that's a real follow along, people.
Really? Well, I mean, you and I were just talking about, okay, we have a new house, we have enough bedrooms for everybody, but that's not how we set our house up. So where's the new baby gonna go? So we've got a lot of home management happening there. Isaac started school and is going part-time, and so he's home. I'm managing gestational diabetes, and there's a lot of home management flexing in our household too. But some that we have built upon previous things that we started. I know I've already told Sarah about our trash routine. We've incorporated a chore into Isaac's day, and these are all things that I've learned from No Shame in the Home Game.
Love it. Love it.
Mhm.
I'll be able to do a little update. I've been telling my son for years when he turns 12 that he is responsible for one meal, one night a week.
Ooh.
That will be happening shortly.
I love that it's attached to an age because Isaac also has things attached in his mind to an age. This is just something that he's done. He didn't want to put away his own clothes until he was 5. And literally the morning of his 5th birthday, he went and he started putting clothes away because he's, guess I got to do this now. He has also decided he's not going to buckle himself in until he's 6 or 7, which I'm like, I don't know about that, dude. I think you can do that now, but I'm too tired to fight you on that one. So,
I love it. We still have so much good content to explore. It just might be in a slightly different format.
mhm.
Yeah, we're just going to roll. We're going to roll with it because that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. So we will be starting season 3. I don't know the official date. We have one more to record, but we haven't because, again, Lacey's been on the struggle bus. We're moving in a positive direction. I'm really hopeful today. And then we'll start season 3 officially whenever we start. You'll know, we'll tell you. And it's going to be a combination of a participant, check-ins, and some Q&As, and I'm so excited for it. We're going to keep it at every other week because every other week feels manageable, and yeah, I'm excited for all of the possibilities.
I too. And if anyone listening is, oh, I've got a question I know I want to ask, go ahead, head on over to No Shame in the Home Game.
Yeah,
Place.
NoShameInTheHomeGame.com.
And you can submit a question there. Honestly, you can hit us up on social media and ask a question there. We'll take it however you want to deliver it to us. Postcard,
Ooh,
carrier pigeon would be
I
awesome.
just remembered we have one from Carolyn, so maybe I'll see if Carolyn wants to submit a little voice note talking about it.
And we also had a great, so we started our Joyful Support Village in beta testing. And we had a great question in there that we're going to maybe see if we can bring to share with the world as well. Because again, everyone is dealing with something. Everyone, no matter your age, no matter your status with marriage, single, family, who you're living with, everyone's got stuff that they're dealing with. Let's all talk about it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Can we do, I know this is a typical episode, but can we do what we're thankful for?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna go
Do you
first?
wanna go? You can go first. Pregnant ladies
I
first.
know. I have a lot that I am thankful for this morning in particular. I think we'll just say I am thankful for me using my voice. That is not something that I have always done, and with this being my 3rd pregnancy, and it's very convoluted, but I have diabetes and technically type 2 diabetes. I have gestational diabetes. We'll just, because I'm pregnant and I have diabetes, we'll just say that. And it is one of the most mentally challenging things that I have ever been through because of expectations, because of how you monitor yourself. And I read an article where because I was having such a hard time, and the title was from a participant who was in this study, said it feels like medically I don't know if it's medically condoned or medically encouraged disordered eating because of how restrictive and how watched you are. But this is my third time around. This is not my first rodeo. I know this about myself, and I know that this is the longest I'm going to be going through it as well, because each time it gets earlier, and now we're just starting off pregnancy with it. And I told my doctor, I'm like, look, I cannot handle all of this. My mental health and wellness needs to be a part of this conversation. And I was actually heard. And we have a plan for me to be able to manage it in a way that hopefully allows some flexibility. And the reality is some of it's my own mindset of needing to feel like I have some space in things not being perfect and not being 100% right. And some of that is how they treat me in this process. So to hear her hear me and understand me and be like, yeah, we're going to treat you like you're a smart adult. These are the things that we're asking for from you. But if you don't meet it every once in a while because of this and this, or because you're going on a trip and all these things, that's fine. We'll figure it out. And so I'm so proud of myself for going into it with that attitude and actually being heard and feeling, oh, okay, this isn't going to be torture for the next 20 something weeks.
I'm happy for you. And yeah, anyone listening has been through their own medical adventures where they're not being heard or they're not being heard really. And so that's a great.
Medical trauma is something that I've heard more and more being chronically ill. And when we think of trauma, we think of very specific things. But I'm realizing the reaction that I'm having now is a trauma response of this is how it was before. So my body is responding in that way because it knows it. And so it's taking a little bit of retraining in my mind and body. But those things are so sneaky and they really do permeate in so many different ways. Just validating anybody else who hears something in that they're like, ugh, yes, you are a person. You are allowed to have a voice. Yeah.
Hopefully that helps somebody today who heard that. So for mine, it's a joy ripple. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited. So participant Teresa is a talented massage therapist, and I cannot understate this. There's many different types of massage, and Teresa is so unique in her knowledge of the body and her ability to tune in with the client and what they need, and it's just next level. So she moved and she actually lives not in the same city and it's a little bit of a distance from another friend of mine who has been going through it's been a shit sandwich on top of a shit sandwich. She has been dealing with so much, and she's the type of person this is my other friend, Danielle. She's just the type of person who gives of herself nonstop, and she's
Yeah.
been showing up all in every direction, and so I wanted to be able to take care of her because she's taking care of everyone else. And so luckily where Teresa works and where my friend works is actually very close to each other, even though they live pretty far apart from each other. So this morning, Teresa was able to pamper my friend
Oh,
as part of the joy ripple because I wanted my friend to feel supported because she is doing so much. And Teresa's
I
just
know.
magically joyful.
She
And
is.
she like sent me a picture of the room and sent me updates. And so to know that I was able to help somebody from afar, I have tears in my eyes because it just meant so much to me that I could connect to wonderful people and put a little bit more joy out in the world. So I'm really happy about that.
My cheeks hurt. I'm smiling so hard from that. Oh, that makes me really
It's,
happy.
yeah, so beautiful. So there's always something to be thankful for, even with all the shit sandwiches we deal with, all of the pivoting, all of the crap that comes up. There's still beauty and there's still things that we can appreciate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, listeners, for staying along with us on this ride. I hope you're as excited as we are for I guess the ride, the unexpectedness, but the excitement of everything that is to come.
Yes. Thank you, Lacey.
Thank you, Sarah.